Hi, welcome to this little just a video explanation of the tours that I run of Stonehenge. There are tours with a difference, although I guess most tour operators might describe theirs as that, but mine actually really is in that we don't just go inside Stonehenge. No, we go inside Stonehenge after dark. Now, when I started doing this 22 years ago, well, depending on what year you're watching this, but 1993 was the first one. And in those days, we just used to meet up and at the car park, go inside, bunch of strangers, walk around for an hour by moonlight, and then go off. And I found that it's better as an experience if there's some explanation, a bit of a talk, and also time to adjust and get to know people as well. Now, over the last 22 years, I've put a lot of time into researching Stonehenge. I go on digs, I go to archaeology conferences, and I'm about to start a Master of Arts in Stonehenge Archaeology at Buckingham University. So, yes, I take it quite seriously and I look at things in great depth. So, the tour that I run is quite different in that it's 14 hours long, roughly. Now, that might seem like a long time, but honestly, it whizzes by. We start the day not at Stonehenge at all, but we start the day at Avebury. I don't know if you've ever been to Avebury. This is Avebury here. Avebury is a stone circle. It's the largest stone circle in Europe. And it's about 20 miles north of Stonehenge. And we begin here because it begins to give an idea not just of looking at Stonehenge itself, but we spend the whole day exploring all of the ancient monuments between Avebury and Stonehenge across Salisbury Plain, this sacred Neolithic landscape, and we connect it up. So you're not just looking at this bit here and this bit there, but the whole thing. So, you know, an equivalent might be someone goes to London and they see a Tower Bridge and man on a tall thing and a gherkin, thinking they're separate, but they're not. They're all part of a city. Well, likewise, there's a connection and a correlation between all these things in the landscape. So as we look at each thing, there's a talk and a lecture. They're quite friendly, quite fun. I have kind of pictures on A3 laminates, and we kind of walk around and I talk about each piece. So the day is spent walking and driving and walking and driving. I found some places across Salisbury Plain that are very nice to eat as well. So we have lunch in a Michelin star pub, and then we go back and we have dinner there later in the evening. Now, in the afternoon, we kind of walk around these places. We set off, first of all, kind of having a bit of a look at Avebury. Hold on, I'll just bring up a picture here of what it's like when we're in here. So, you know, kind of start off walking around stones, and like I said, there are various talks and things, opportunities for the occasional group shot. This is a fine bunch of people. We're walking around in 2010. After lunch, we don't go into Stonehenge itself. We go around the landscape that surrounds Stonehenge. So we look at where the henge builders lived. And for the whole afternoon, you can see Stonehenge in the distance. So in the morning, we're where tourists go. And so you do get a bit of kind of traffic noise and the occasional, you know, other tourists and things walking around. Where we go in the afternoon, we're right off the beaten track. And so you get this kind of sense of stepping out of time. You can hear the 21st century far off in the distance, but apart from the occasional army helicopter, it doesn't really encroach upon where we are. And we're spending the whole day talking about thousands of years of time and these people that did this Herculean task of moving rocks around like this, you know, and it's beautiful. We walk in an open landscape. Hopefully, if the weather's nice, you know, it can be quite a pleasant day, and you can kind of get to know people and maybe even make friends as well while we're kind of walking around. Though, of course, what all this leads up to is going in. Now, there's a 1 hour detailed lecture on Stonehenge. Just we sit in these trees and we can look across at Stonehenge in the distance. And then we get in our cars after the tour, we go in. But we go in twice. The first time we go in at sunset, and we can look around. And you can actually get to, you know, you get a chance to kind of see it. You know, and you get to realize just how large these stones are. We also set up a camera on a tripod and get everybody in a line, well, because we're in there in daylight, and get people to kind of walk in front of a stone very rapidly like this, and like school photographs, right? And you get like the most amazing Facebook profile photo, the envy of your friends, literally, you know, when we're kind of doing this. And we can walk around in here, we can see it. You get an idea of the structure of it, the landscape of it, the feel of it, you know. The kind of the furniture of Stonehenge becomes something familiar. And because when people go in for just 1 hour on most tours, a lot of people complain, oh, I was just getting used to it. I was just kind of getting into the feel of it, you know, and now I've got to go. So the first time we go in, if we're lucky, of course, we'll catch a beautiful sunset. This is this is something that I saw in 2013. It's an absolutely beautiful photograph. Obviously, of course, we can take pictures when we're in there too. And if you've got a good SLR camera, you can get things like this. I guess a typical kind of sunset picture, depending on weather, might look like that. It's rather just stunning being in that kind of place, you know. Then, as the sun sets, we go off and we have an evening meal back to the Michelin star place. Now, it's very well organized so that we have as little involvement with the 21st century as possible. So we don't go into a town where there are roundabouts and traffic lights and pubs with noise and music. No. We drive down a country route, we go to a village. Again, very quiet, hardly any street lights and things, minimum noise, so that we are contained within this kind of sense of being out of time. And I often get this feeling that when we're walking around that kind of landscape looking at Stonehenge in the distance, you definitely get a feel that you're just a speck of dust kind of passing through time, and that this landscape will still be here long after we've gone. And there's a kind of a juxtaposition of time in a way with it, you know. So a lot of people start to feel as if they're in something kind of spiritual, that the landscape kind of holds you, you know. After we've had something to eat and the sun has set, we then go back in the dark a second time. Only this time you're in either by moonlight or by starlight, and that is a very unique thing. This is a photograph I took, you just saw a glimmer of it there, of Orion rising through a trilithon arch inside Stonehenge. There's Orion's belt clearly visible in the middle there. The reason for this very prolonged tour is that not only do you have information kind of meted out through the day, so instead of being overwhelmed by data, you get a chance to you get a bit of information, right? And that kind of settles, and you get a little bit more. And so over a period of time, it builds up. Essentially, it's 2 workshops back to back without sleeping in between. Right? Just think of it like that. So it's a whole weekend's workshops, but without the kind of inconvenient interruption of sleep. And it really does whiz by. You know, now, after 13 hours of listening to me, having nice food and being in here, we have a 30-minute designated silence. And so people can meditate, they can chill out, they can relax. And by that time, your left brain is saturated with information. And it's also fed up with listening to me. Like just, go quiet, Dave. And your right brain opens and you can feel it. And it's enchanting. It really is utterly enchanting being in here. It's a privilege as well. Very few people are allowed in here after dark. And we're going in a small private party. There'll be maximum 30 people. Most often there's about 12, but there's a maximum of 30. So you get almost the feeling that you're in there completely on your own. And by the time you walk in there, you've had information all day that allows you to have more of an understanding of maybe what it is, more of an understanding perhaps of the people that did all this. So it's not just going inside Stonehenge. You get a sense that you're walking into our oldest cathedral, our great temple on the plains. And it's a very enchanting thing to do. There's a magic to this. And the actual day is kind of built and arranged and designed to take you on a magical path like that. Yes, I don't think there's anything that happens that isn't deliberate. Occasionally people do get lost in the convoys, but that's obviously something that we try to do our best to avoid. So all the details are on my website, www.davidrowan.co.uk. It's not necessarily easy to spot, so if you write to me, stonehenge@davidrowan.co.uk, that's stonehenge@davidrowan.co.uk. If you look in the kind of information that's with this YouTube video clip, then you'll be able to kind of see that the website and things are there. And just write to me, I'll let you know all about it, and I'll also put in the YouTube clip, if you look beneath it, in the details, there's a link that takes you directly to the page. So this year it's in August, but the dates change, and I want this video to be appropriate for any kind of year. So look at the link, it will give you the date, it will also give you the current price as well. This is a very unique opportunity, and it's a magical thing. So I'm going to leave you with a little slideshow of photographs that have been taken over the years. We had a bit of clan at the beginning, so this is going to end with a piece of music by me, but the photographs are by me as well. And so while people are meditating and just looking up the stars, I walk around clicking with the camera, and everything is captured for you. The whole day is photographed, and everybody gets a copy of all the photographs. You also get information and book lists and things, so you can research and look things up as well. Okay, so it's not just a kind of a day walking out and going inside rock. It's a very educational experience as well, and rather enchanting. I hope you can come along. It would be wonderful to meet you and to guide you around this sacred landscape and introduce you to our ancient home in a broader kind of sense. Take very good care. Thank you. Bye.